Hi everyone, welcome to episode 12 of Tech Tips. Today we're going to be discovering about how to create an annual budget in Google Sheets. There are several templates in Google which allow you to create different types of files, including one which is an annual budget. After reviewing them, I found them to be a bit complicated and contained multiple worksheets. This can easily lead to mistakes. The best way to create, I feel, a budget in Sheets or in Excel is to use a one-sheet option. That is what we're going to review today. I have left a link in this description of this video on how you can get a copy of the template. Let's get started.
So here we are at a spreadsheet that we're going to recreate. I'm going to show you how to recreate. So it starts with your income and expenses, and it gives you your totals there, and then underneath it gives you all of the detail behind these totals, and it also provides a net figure for you. So what we would start with is typing in Google Sheets under our search. Then we would click on Google Sheets. Yours may say go to Sheets, and that's what you would click on if it doesn't, unless it comes directly into your drive. The next thing you would do is click on blank. And the first thing you want to do in any spreadsheet is at the top left where it says Untitled Spreadsheet is to type in the name of the spreadsheet so you'll know. Annual Budget Template. The next thing I'm going to tell you to do is to click on column A, and then you're going to right click and you're going to resize the column. And to resize the column, we're going to resize it to type in 20, and then you're going to click OK. And then in cell A1, we're going to type in FY for fiscal year, and then leave the one next to it blank. You can use that later on when you're typing in your data. And then we're going to go to the whole spreadsheet right here. We're going to highlight the whole spreadsheet by clicking on the box in between A and 1. That highlights the whole spreadsheet, and we're going to make all the numbers into currency by clicking on the $sign on the toolbar. Once that's done, you want to make this one actually the first column B1 after you've highlighted the whole sheet into plain text, because you're going to be using an actual number there for the year rather than a $sign. Now we're going to go to column C and row 2, and we're going to start typing our months. So January, February, all the way across until we get to the column O, and we're going to type in total there because we've finished. And then we're going to go straight back to the beginning. We're going to highlight row 2 by clicking on 2, and we're going to the toolbar and selecting bold. And then we're going to highlight from January all the way across to the total column O, and we're going to select the border, the bottom border on this. So you'll click on the square on the toolbar with the plus sign in it, and you will then select the bottom border. So now it looks really pretty. Now we're going to go over here and we're going to type in income, and then we're going to type in cell A4 expenses, and then in column B row 5 we're going to type in net. And now we're going to format that a little bit. So we're going to highlight all the way across again on row 4. And we're going to select border bottom. And then we're going to go back to the beginning. And we're going to highlight row 5. And we're going to bold row 5. Now we're going to do a sum feature here. We're going to just sum income and expense, and you'll see why later. So we're going to say equals. And then you're going to put sum C3 to C4. You can just type that in with the colon in between and the parentheses at the end. Now we've created a formula, and we're going to copy that formula. You can do edit copy, or you can use Control C, and then you can paste that from column D all the way to column N. And you go to edit and paste, or Control V. And now we've got a formula all set and ready to go. So the next piece is the detail behind the income. So let's start with that. We're going to move down one row. So we're going to leave one row blank, and we're going to bold it here first. And then we're going to type income. So now we've defined the detail. And then we're going to come up back to row 2 and highlight 2. And we're just going to copy that. And we're going to paste it in row 8. So we're going to highlight row 8 and then just paste it. And now in row 9, we're going to start with our detail list. So it's going to be wages, interest, gifts, dividends, and other. And then in row 14 in column B, we're going to put the word total. And then again, we're going to highlight all the way from January in row 13 all the way across till we reach the total. And then we're going to click on border and bottom border. Now we're going to create the formula again that we were talking about under C14. We're going to hit the equal sign and then we're going to type in the word sum and then we're going to do parentheses. And sometimes if it has more than one value, it'll automatically do that for you, and that's what you want, C9 to C13. And if we hit the tab key, it will create that formula. So now what we're going to do is copy this, Control C, and highlight all the way across to December and Control V. And now it's created the formulas for you for when you enter that detail. And now we're going to highlight 14 and we're also going to bold that because it's the aesthetics of the whole spreadsheet. Now we're going to move on to expenses and we're going to bold again. We're going to hit bold. We're going to type in expenses. And then we're going to start with the first column, which I'm going to show you how to do a few of these and then I'm going to move on. I'll do a few of these rows, but then you can simply figure out how to do it after that because it's a lot of detail. So the next thing I'm going to do is copy row 8, which is our months, so we can bring that down. And we're going to go to row 17 and paste that in. Now we're going to put in the detail. The first thing I'm going to start with is home expenses. So I type that in A, and then I'm going to give some detail behind what those home expenses are so that I think it's helpful to have the detail on expenses because you sometimes you forget expenses if you don't have the detail behind them. You'll forget to add them in. And this will do it for you, so why not do it that way? Mortgage, rent, property taxes. And again, you can make these fit your own. Say you have lawn, garden. You can notice that I'm all typing these all in column B because then it makes it nice. And other's always a catch-all. So you're going to move back into column A, and then I'm going to type in utilities. And then you could have cable, internet, TV. Cable, internet, and TV. I always like to put those together. Usually you package them that way. Oil if you have it. Gas if you have it. Oh, we all have electricity. Telephone, water, trash, other. And then I'm back in column A after writing the detail in column B. Next, I'm going to type is insurance. And so you can kind of see the flow of this. I'm going to just quickly stop here, type it up so you don't have to sit by and watch me type. So now you can see I've typed in after insurance, tuition, some everyday expenses, similar setup, health. Now you don't necessarily have to have all this detail, but it's good to have, as I said earlier. There's transportation, technology, entertainment, all of these types of expenses. And of course at the bottom we want total. So now the next thing we're going to do is, again, we're going to highlight these rows all the way to O. And then we're going to go to borders, put a bottom border. Then on the total, we're going to highlight row 77 and we're going to bold it. Now we're going to put a formula in here, and that is the sum formula, and it should automatically come up with it. It's got it from C17 to C76, which is correct. So I'm going to hit the tab key, and now it's got that in there. I'm going to now copy as we did before and paste all the way across to column N. Now we've calculated all of our expenses. So now I'm going to go to the very top of the spreadsheet, and where the income is for January, I'm going to click on equals, and that is C14. And that, now you can see it highlights the total on C14, and that's what I want. And now I'm going to copy that, paste that all the way across here to N. And now what I'm going to do is do a equals for this formula for expenses, and then a minus, so I'm going to be subtracting it, C77. And now I'm going to copy that and paste it all the way across. And now we're almost done with our spreadsheet. Now the last piece is to add up the totals. So what I'm going to do here is now do another sum. I'm going to be sum, and it's going to be N3 to N, C3 to N3. And I'm going to hit the tab key, and that's great. And then I'm going to do the same thing here, equals sum, and that's going to be C4 colon to N4, N parentheses. And now this one is going to be equals the sum of C5 colon to N5, N parentheses. Now what I can do now is take this particular formula in O3 and copy that to everything that relates to the same type of formatting that I want. So I'm going to copy this, Control C, and then I'm going to put it in rows 9 through 12. So they're all the same. And I'm going to paste them. And then I'm going to do the same thing with row 4. And I'm going to copy it and paste it in row 13. And then I'm going to go to row 5, O5, and I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to paste it in row 14, O14. I'm going to copy 9. And then I'm going to copy it all the way down until I get to row 76. Before 76, I'm going to go to 75, and then I'm going to paste them. And then I'm going to go up to 13, and I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to paste it in row 76. And then I'm going to do row 14, copy that, and I'm going to paste it down in row 77O. Now you've completed the budget spreadsheet. Now, if you would like to freeze the panes, so that what freezing panes means is you're going to freeze these columns so that you can see what actually should go in whilst you're moving across, because at some point we're going to lose what's going to go in. So you can freeze your rows by going to highlighting A and B, and then you can easily do it through help. It's a great little feature. You're going to say freeze, and you're going to want to freeze 2 columns. And now if I go over, I can see that it has frozen those columns, so that when you're entering data, you know where you're at. So now if I wanted to enter some data here for wages, say it was like $10,000, you'll see how everything works. Now it's up here. And then say I wanted to enter my mortgage for the month. I could enter that to, let's say it's $2,800. And you can see it's now created the net from that of $7,200. And to erase, I suggest creating a new spreadsheet every year rather than overwriting. You can just copy by going File and make a copy, and it will make a copy and you can change the name. It's very easy.
Well, that is how you create an annual budget in Google Sheets. It may take a while to set up, but if you copy it each year, it will save you some time. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter and tune into our podcast. Happy budgeting!